Yo, today I come to you with 10 CrossFit truths, 10 of them, all of which I derived from the CrossFit affiliate when I was at the helm of it, and I had to feel as if I reminded everybody of these every single day. So today I'm going to remind you of these things. If you don't believe me, remember, they are truths, they aren't falses. Truth! And because they aren't falses and they are truths, you can't argue with them.
It doesn't matter!
Good luck trying to argue with them.
What you think?
First thing that you can't argue with, the number one truth, is that you can't change your routine. You shouldn't change your routine. And what I mean by that is I would see people walk in every single day with a different pre-workout, with a new pair of shoes, with a new pair of grips, a new belt, maybe even a new diet. I'm a carnivore today and I'm high carb tomorrow.
Wow.
Then you never really knew what you were getting out of it. If you truly think that you found the best thing, you would probably never change it. You're talking to the guy who's been on Eno Explode pre-workout since he was 16 years old. And why? Because whenever I've really tinkered with it, I just don't feel quite right. Whether it be in the workout, whether it be day to day, whether it be through a body fluctuation because it does have a certain amount of creatine in it that maybe I'm losing out on. And I'll tell you what, if you see me change pre-workouts, it's because it's either way freaking better or because I just decided I don't want to be having a gram of caffeine every single day.
With great power comes great responsibility.
But this is why I've got such big issues when you see Tia Toomey go from Noble for all those years, promoting Noble, to all of a sudden just going to Go Run.
Nothing was given to me. I am Noble.
The following Thursday,
It floods me with so much emotion.
And then everyone starts wearing Go Rucks, and then you're thinking, you just changed the entirety of the way that your foot moves because Tia Toomey decided to change sponsors.
Oh well.
Along with the CrossFit Games. We know why the CrossFit Games does it. They needed money, and Noble don't got any more money. We know why Go Ruck does it, so people see their shoes, so that Tia Toomey gets them, so that the members of the affiliate also will wear them because they see her wearing them. But there has to be somebody out there to tell you that because you've been wearing Nobles for 4 years, whether or not you think that they're the best shoe ever, you can't just change shoes at the freaking flip of a hat, because that, believe it or not, puts your entire skeleton at risk from the ground up. Your foot has become one with the Noble shoe.
That's why no one will remember your name.
Whether or not you think that's a good thing, your whole body is now in one with the Noble. I am sorry for you for that fact, but be very, 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 very careful when you change your routine. Don't change your routine. You're stuck with Noble forever because of Tia Toomey. Thanks, Tia.
Idiot!
Here comes another Reddit thread. Number 2, somewhere in the routine thing I talked about your diet. I want to go a little bit further on diet and remind all of you that diet is not a current negative. It should be what you do with your life all the time. On the way to the West Coast Classic, I was sitting on the airplane and I had this realization looking at everybody around me as the people going up down the aisle. What are they called? Stewardesses? Flight attendants? One or the other. I don't know.
It doesn't matter!
They don't like one, they don't like the other. I don't know which one it is. Doesn't matter. But they're giving out these cookies. And they gave me a cookie, and I looked at it, and I go, if I eat this cookie, this is my diet. This is what I am. Every chance that I get that anyone gives me a cookie and I eat it, that is my food. I think about my dog all the time. My dog gets a skin issue if you give it the wrong food. The pit bull. Pit bull can only eat turkey. I think about it in terms of people. And in the CrossFit, in 100 words right up, it says no sugar. And you should think about sugar the same way that the pit bull thinks about anything that isn't turkey. Pit bull gets a skin issue, you eat sugar, your entire body is inflamed. Who knows what the deleterious effects of that are? Deleterious effects. But there's going to be a trickle down from the inflammation. You don't know what it looks like now, you don't know what it looks like in the future. But when you forget that the diet isn't just about what's happening right now, but it is a long-term thing, you need to be reminded of it. And I feel as if people forget when they're given a piece of cake because Ben Bergeron said it was okay to have a piece of cake because it's your kid's birthday. Well, you know what happens next? There's another birthday next week.
Oh well.
And then there's a workouting where everybody's drinking. And that is your diet. You are a drinking, cake-eating piece of crap. Because everyone said everything's okay, but that's what you are. And it's not what you should be. Number 3, you gotta do bodybuilding. And why? What do you mean you gotta do bodybuilding? One of the best things that you can have as an athlete is your ability to know what the coach is telling you. Where should you be feeling this? That's what she said. But everyone knows how to flex their bicep, right? If you don't know how to flex your freaking biceps, then you're missing something in life. You know how to flex your abs, right? Do you know how to flex your pecs? Can I still do this? Yeah, I can still do this. Can you flex your lats? Can you flex your left butt cheek, right butt cheek, left calf, right calf, hamstring, quad? It's something that you pick up on when you do bodybuilding style training. And it's something that you can apply to the compound lifts, to the functional movements that we do. People do all these glute exercises to warm up before they do such and whatever. They walk around with a band on their hips. But how about when you are doing a set set of squats or a set of deadlifts or a set of lunges, you have the mind to muscle connection that is required in order to do those lifts. And if you can do that because you've done some bodybuilding training, you know how to fire your left glute, right glute, left pec, right pec. When you are doing your ring muscle ups, make sure that your pecs are engaged. Make sure you're locking out with your triceps. Oh, you can't lock out your elbows? Well, flex your triceps overhead and that's gonna lock out the elbow. It's only something that you can pick up when you have done some sort of a bodybuilding block. It's actually something that I can do right here. I can really flex my hamstrings as hard as I can so that when I'm doing a set of squats later, I can make sure that those things are being engaged as I descend into the squat, which is probably something that you've never thought of when you are squatting.
All right, like tell me you have small legs without telling me you have small legs.
Number 4, if your program does not have 1 to 2 5-minute or less workouts a month, then you are not doing a CrossFit program. I'm talking something like Fran, and if Fran takes you more than 7 minutes to do, well then you gotta be doing something else to get the stimulus that's under 5 minutes. And the reason that I bring this up is because there has been a trend for a very long time that is oh, I need to do the 30-minute EMOM, or my freaking workout has to last 45 minutes. Well then go on over to Orange Theory. Wait. If you're doing the calorie burn for the sake of burning calories because you want to sweat, that's okay, you can do it, but you're no longer doing CrossFit. Wait. If you haven't thrown your head through the wall for under 5 minutes 1 or 2 times a month and gotten the intensity that comes from that, where when you work for 3 minutes and then you're on the ground for 10 minutes, you're missing a large part of what it means to be a CrossFitter. Number 5, if you are over 30 years old, nobody wants to watch you work out. I think I saw a thread about this on Reddit the other day. Somebody qualified for the CrossFit Games. They realized for the first time that they're not going to go to Fort Worth with everybody else. And it's like, well, dude, they don't want to watch you. They want to watch the people under 30. Andrew, there's people over 30. Isn't Hetty Canyo like a 32-year-old rookie? Yeah, there's plenty of people that are going to be over 30-year-old that go to the CrossFit Games as individuals. There are exceptions to the rule all the time. I mean, the Liver King was, 45 to 50 years old, and everyone knows why they wanted to watch that guy work out.
The question has always been, do you take steroids? Do you take PEDs? The answer to that is no.
And it wasn't because, maybe it was because he was eating like raw bull testicles and stuff. But the dude is a freak, he's freaking shredded. In the CrossFit world, yeah, sure, some of these guys are freaks. Jason Grubb's a freak. He also has his own YouTube channel. He also might be one of the only people that people want to watch outside of their friends and family. And where are they going? Alabama? Where are Joe and Bob putting on the whatever they're doing? But Joe and Bob. Freaking Joe and Bob. I wonder if Joe and Bob realized that the half-rate podcaster that they're talking about finished 13th at the North America East semifinal. I wonder if Joe and Bob know that the half-rate podcaster has the most popular CrossFit show at the moment on the internet. Yeah, we're talking about Taylor Self. Kill Taylor! But I did bring up the friends and family thing. Those are the people that want to watch the people over 30 do things that are hard for them. And when I say work out, I mean competitively. Because I work with a handful of clients still, and I do enjoy seeing them get better at things day in and day out. There's like the progress, I like to see the work that they put in. But when it comes to sport, the only person that I want to watch in their 50s or 60s do anything would be like Tom Brady at the age of 50. Maybe I'd watch Michael Jordan play a game of pickup basketball, but that's because he was the best at that time. I'd probably watch Rich Froning at the age of 60 do Isabel, but I would also need to remember what it looked like when he did Isabel at 225 and like 320 or whatever he did it in 2016. It'll be wild if I get all those things right. Probably more like 420. It's unfortunate because they're the ones with all the money, but the CrossFit Games media team can't even get the bread and butter right. So CrossFit Masters, you got to stop clamoring for them to start giving you guys more attention when they can't even give proper attention to the thing that drives the eyes in the first place. Number 6, steroids will ruin your life. Yeah, that's Andrew Hiller, the 32-year-old juice monkey. Yeah, that's right, California hormones. You can go to CAPeptides.com, use code Hiller at checkout, and get all juiced up yourself. Peptides are not steroids. Peptides will not ruin your life. And also, while I said that steroids will ruin your life, I'm speaking to a very specific person. I'm talking about basically anybody under the age of 25. Well, what is it about these sub-25-year-olds, you ask? And I'm glad you asked. They haven't done anything. You've done nothing! I would say 99.999% of the time, the people who would be considering taking performance-enhancing drugs under the age of 25 have not hit their genetic potential from a training perspective. What's going to end up happening is you're going to be 18 or 19 years old and you're going to take some SARMs, you're going to take some testosterone, or you're going to take some tren and you're going to go from 170 pounds to 270 pounds. You're going to get all jacked up because you don't know how to train properly in the first place because you started using them too early. This is the thing that we're talking about right here. And all of a sudden your skeleton's going to start falling apart. And then there's going to be a point in time where you're like, I just wanted to look good for pictures that I took on the internet. Maybe I want to get a sponsorship through some supplement company. Maybe I was trying to impress some chicks. You find out that chicks don't really care about being 270 pounds. So you're like, you know what? I'm done taking this trend. I've been taking it for 3 years nonstop. I'm done taking the trend. What's gonna end up happening is you're slowly make your way back down to 170, maybe even lighter than 170 pounds. But the thing is, you've done some freaking damage to your body. Remember I said you've been working the wrong muscles? Now your skeleton's all out of whack. Your hormones are all messed up. So now you're lighter than you were when you started, and you still have no idea how to train because you got patted on the back the entire time for putting on 100 pounds in a year and a half. And everyone thought that it was because you were eating chicken broccoli and rice, drinking a gallon of milk a day, and throwing down Gatorade powder every chance you had.
You're soothing to me.
Now remember, that was about a specific subset of person, usually the younger people. So don't do it, stupid. Or go ahead, it's your life, whatever. Number 7 is you don't always need to stretch in order to get more flexible. You know that picture of Jean-Claude Van Damme on the trucks and his legs are out to the side? Like, how do you do that? Well, I'm just gonna sit in the seated straddle every day. I'm gonna try to stretch every day to get more flexible. And while it's gonna work a little bit, it's going to work nowhere near as quickly as it is to be moving through full range of motion every chance that you get. Which is why I put up this video on Instagram this morning of the Vivek dude.
I'm Vivek Ramaswamy, and
I know very little about this guy. I know he's some political figure, and I also know that he has no idea how to squat, do push-ups, or do pull-ups. The insinuation I'm making right there is that somebody should have told him that he wasn't doing it right, so he didn't put that onto the internet for somebody like me to then look at and then roast. Because when you're doing Murph, there is a standard to do, or you're not doing Murph. You're doing something that looks like what you could call Murph, but getting water breaks and talking to your camera in the middle of what is supposed to be a hero workout ain't it. And also, doing air squats that look like this, they ain't it. You're doing like little knee bending looking things. Doing push-ups that look like this. It's not a push-up. And we're talking about flexibility right here. And the thing is, if somebody told Vivek to squat a little bit lower, he could be focusing on that with good posture and position with every single rep, hence increasing his range of motion. Flexibility is basically, I think there's the GTOs, the Golgi tendon organs. They're like, you tell your body you want to touch your toes, and your body is like, nope, we ain't going down there. And it's because it's freaking out. It thinks that you're going to get hurt trying to touch your toes. But if Vivek, over the course of 300 air squats during his Murph workout, told himself to go a little bit lower every single time, and then you do that the next day, the next day, the next day, what you're gonna find is if you're consistently telling your body just to do a little bit more, it's going to learn that it is okay to do those things. It's going to get strong in those positions, and all of a sudden you've regained some flexibility. You can do so with weight, you can do so with body weight, but the thing is, you're always signaling for your body to do a little bit more, and it just shut itself down over the course of time in which you've been spending 38 years of your life, like Vivek has, doing things the wrong way where no one's told him to do things the right way. To go further on this, and to my 8th point, is that if you do not know these things, you cannot track your progress. Vivek probably thinks he has a 50-minute Murph or something crazy like that.
You think?
But we all know that he has never done Murph. We also know that if he forced himself through ranges of motion, it might take him upwards of 3 hours to make his way through that thing. That's assuming he takes the cameras off of himself, he isn't getting as many water breaks in the middle of it, and he's actually pushing himself through the full ranges of motion. Call it a 3-hour Murph. All of a sudden, now at least you have a benchmark. Because what happens next year, if he's unaware, maybe he goes 5 minutes slower, but in that 5 minutes slower, he actually did more legitimate push-ups. Maybe his air squats, each and every one of the 300 that he should have done, it was probably an inch lower. And if you go an inch lower on 300 squats and he had no idea that he was way where he was before, he can't even track his progress. And it's because he didn't know. Which brings me into my 9th point here. That let's just say he does know.
I don't even know what they look. What do they look like?
That would make him a cheater. He knows that his hip crease has to go below his knee on the air squats. He knows that his chest to touch the ground on the push-ups, his elbow is to lock out at the top of the push-up. He knows that when he does a pull-up, his elbow is to lock out at the bottom of the rep and his chin is to get over the top of the bar at the top of the rep. He knows all these things, and if he knows these things, then he is cheating. And when you cheat, you cannot track your progress either. So there's two ends of the pendulum here. Either on this end, you're like, oh, I'm over here and I don't know, you're in La La Land. And then over here, you're cheating. You know he has a 50-minute time, which probably should have been a 55-minute time. Next year, he goes, all right, well, I don't even know how I cheated last year, but this year we're just gonna take off this many reps. And he goes slower. He goes, oh, you know what? That's interesting because I cheated this year. I don't know how I went slower. Well, it's because you can't track your progress when you're a dirty little cheater, Vivek.
So I hope this lesson is helpful.
And whatever sort of gym you are in doesn't look like a CrossFit affiliate, although everyone is doing Murph, which is a CrossFit workout written for Michael Murphy, but it's a bastardization of the entire thing, what you're doing. And someone needs to tell you, and I'll tell you. You guys should tell him. Someone out there tell Vivek. Tell him he's doing everything wrong. Tell the gym that he's at that he's teaching everybody how to do it wrong. He's ruining everyone's life.
But it's my soul.
He's essentially that stewardess on the airplane handing out cookies left and right. Here's a cookie, here's a cookie, here's a cookie, and everyone just shuffling that thing down. Vivek's eating cookies because the owner of that gym isn't telling him to squat low enough. My 10th point, in the unpopular CrossFit truths, my final point is that if you are not going to do something, you should not even try. I believe it's a quote by the good old Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. It's freaking freaking Yoda. I would always tell people that it's the high school football player. You're gonna throw yourself under a 291-pound bar. That's my all-time best snatch. The only way that that's going to happen is if you throw yourself through the wall. High school football player will throw themselves through the wall to make the tackle of the running back or the wide receiver. You got to attack that person, tackle them at 110%.
I want you to visualize and then attack.
You cannot have one glimpse of doubt. You cannot be afraid of throwing your body into that other person. You know what's going to happen. You're going to bounce off. Have you ever seen anybody who's timid try to tackle somebody who's running at them in full speed? They bounce off like a bag of, I don't know, watermelon. Cut up watermelon in a Ziploc bag. You can punch through one of those things. Saquon Barkley's running at a bag of watermelon, it explodes. And that's what's going to happen to you if you are not dedicated to throwing yourself under the 291-pound bar the same way that a high school football player would throw themselves through a wall to make the tackle for no reason other than the coach said so.
I tried.
And that's how you should, in the CrossFit world, in the fitness world, and maybe even in way more arenas, apply situations. Because if you are not trying to do something and you're not dedicated to doing something, and if you are not going to do it, you do or do not, there is no try. Don't try to go to the gym. Don't try to show up for work, because if you're the coach and you're going into the field, it's like, I guess I'm going to try to show up today. You know, I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't do that. Everyone's going to read it all over you. They know you don't want to be there. They know you'd rather be here, there, in bed. I don't know, picking dandelions in the forest. If you don't want to be there, don't go. Don't work. Don't take the $20 because you have to. And the same way that they shouldn't show up, neither should the member. Don't just show up half-heartedly and be like, oh, you know, the effort is better. In this world where effort is like, oh, good job. Here's an 18th place ribbon out of 20 people. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Idiot. You either want to be there or you don't want to be there. And if you don't want to be there and you end up showing up, you're wasting your time and you're wasting everyone else's time. And that's all I have to say about that. Yoda out.
Please smash that like button. No one touches there now.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for?